This plane takeoff went seriously wrong. The incident took place at Juan Santa Maria Airport in Costa Rica. DHL pilots were preparing their Boeing 757 for takeoff when they realized something was terribly wrong. There was a problem with the plane's hydraulic system, leaving the pilot with no choice but to slam on the brakes. The plane skidded on the runway, turning a full 180 degrees. The 757 even slid off the runway. Thankfully, no one was injured, although the plane required extensive repairs. But an even crazier plane takeoff fail took place in India. It happened during an Indian Air Force training exercise at Ambala Air Base. The pilot took off in a Jaguar fighter jet. The plane was carrying 2 extra fuel tanks and some practice bombs. The Jaguar took off at high speed, but within seconds it collided with a flock of birds. This knocked out one of the plane's 2 engines, leaving the pilot with no choice but to make an emergency landing. He dumped the fuel tanks and practice bombs, which exploded below. One of these tanks even hit a residential area, but miraculously, no one was hurt. Thanks to the decreased weight, the pilot managed to make a safe landing with only 1 engine. It wasn't the training he was expecting, but this pilot definitely earned his stripes. An even crazier takeoff fail comes from the U.S. Air Force. On August 5, 2017, the USS Green Bay was stationed off the coast of Australia. A V-22 Osprey was preparing to take off from the ship when, with no warning, everything went wrong. The Osprey collided with the USS Green Bay before the video cuts out. The Osprey was later recovered from the scene. Another wild takeoff took place at Mumbai International Airport. It was October 2022, and a Singapore Airlines Boeing 747 was about to take off. That's when the plane encountered a bird strike. You can see the bird enter the plane's leftmost engine, causing a small explosion. Thankfully, Boeing 747s can still fly with as few as 1 working engine, meaning the flight was able to continue safely. An even crazier takeoff incident occurred in Puerto Carreño, Colombia. An Aerosuker cargo plane was preparing for takeoff. The Boeing 727 was loaded with 20,000 pounds of cargo, which turned out to be too heavy for the plane. During takeoff, the plane overran the runway, tearing through the airport's fence and narrowly missing a group of plane spotters on the ground. The pilots tried to regain control, but the collision with the fence had already caused significant damage. It broke one of the plane's engines, all of its hydraulic systems, and part of the landing gear. The plane glided over the ground for 2 minutes, clipping a tree and a building. An investigation was quickly launched, and the findings were damning. First, the airport was too small for a Boeing 727. The pilots also made various preventable takeoff errors. However, the worst failure was the fault of Aerosuker. The company had modified the plane to take off at slower speeds to make it more fuel efficient and save money. However, they never updated the flight manual. When the pilots took off, they set their speed to 5 knots faster than necessary. This, combined with the plane's weight, caused the catastrophic takeoff failure.